ampersand. Let's say that I want to launch a process directly in the background. To do that, all I need to do is postfix it with the ampersand. Now again, if I'm moving it back and forth between the foreground and the background, I prefix it with the percent. But if I launch the process and I postfix it with the ampersand instead of prefixing it with the percent, it would simply start in the background. So in other words, to do that, let's say I was going to do foo1, and if I pass in the ampersand, then there's the process ID, so there's jobs. And I can do the same thing with foo2. Foo2, use the ampersand and launch that in the background. And again, if I use the jobs command, there's job 1 and job 2. And the same rules apply where if I wanted to bring it to the foreground, I'll bring job 1 to the foreground. So it would be percent, the percent symbol, and prefix it, and then the job ID, and I could do Control C and stop the process. And now if I do jobs, I only have 2 running in the background. And if I wanted to bring 2 to the back to the foreground, again it would be foreground, percent, and the job ID 2, and I can stop the process. And now I have no jobs running. The no-hup command allows executing a background process even when the user logs off the system. Another useful command to use with foreground and background processes is the no-hup command. And what that'll let you do is you can launch a process in the background. Let's say you want to log out and go to lunch somewhere. You don't want to really leave your system open. You want to be able to kind of log out and lock down the terminal, but maybe you don't want the particular background process to stop. You want it to keep executing or running in the background. Maybe it's like a batch process or something. So what I would do is I would prefix the command with no-hup, and let's say I'm going to do foo2. Foo2, and I'll use the ampersand to launch it in the background. And remember that particular command, what it does is it simply pings Google. So I'm going to go ahead and exit, and I'm going to log out and